That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Jurassic World Dominion is the latest in the Jurassic series, commencing with the famous first of its kind, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, 1993, where the world for the first time beheld the beauty of dinosaurs brought back from extinction. The havoc and chaos caused by these colossal beasts swept through the original Jurassic Park series, and with the Jurassic franchise firmly entrenched in cinephiles' hearts and minds, the natural progression paved the way for the Jurassic World series, with Jurassic World Dominion being the most recent spectacle, presenting the ultra-massive creatures in full glory. Jurassic World Dominion pays homage to the first Jurassic Park trilogy by uniting the key characters from the two films: Alan Grant, Sam Neill, Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern, and Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, return to battle ecological disasters and corporate conspiracies alongside Jurassic World characters Owen Grady, Chris Pratt, and Claire Dearing, Bryce Dallas Howard. Biocines is a powerful corporation that profits from the genomes of dinosaurs, paving the road for environmental disaster. Notice the pun in the firm name, which sounds like biocin, to tackle the growing issue of illicit dinosaur poaching. The U.S. Congress granted the worldwide conglomerate Biocin Genetics exclusive collection rights. According to CEO Dodson, the company plans to exploit dinosaur DNA for medical research. Biocin has established a large dinosaur refuge deep in Italy's Dolomite Mountains for research reasons. But then something else happened. Massive hordes of enormous, prehistoric locusts appeared unexpectedly and began destroying crops everywhere. Dr. Ellie Sattler, a paleobotanist, is called in to investigate the problem. She discovers that these locusts were consuming all crops, save particular genetically modified crops. No points for guessing where the locust-safe GM crops and huge locusts came from. This was, in reality, Dr. Dodgson's idea, intended to generate global demand for biocin crops. So here was a firm eager to risk the entire planet's environment and set into motion global starvation and an unparalleled magnitude calamity for the sake of a few extra dollars. While biocin appeared to be working on dinosaur DNA for medicinal purposes, it was actually generating prehistoric dino locusts that were genetically programmed to shun only biocin-manufactured crops, giving the corporation a stranglehold on the world's food resources. To accomplish this, they hired renowned scientists and geneticists. Well, one of them is our Dr. Ian Malcolm, who discovers biocin's wicked agenda. He enlists the support of old pals Dr. Sattler and Dr. Grant to expose the evil corporation and bring biocin down. They accept CEO Dodson's standing invitation to visit their research center. Unbeknownst to the CEO, Dr. Malcolm secretly passes his access key to his criminal partners. Sattler and Grant make their way into the forbidden part of the biocin lab and ultimately obtain the DNA evidence and proof of biocin's true intentions. All they had to do now was sneak past the guards and the frightening dinosaurs to escape biocin. Claire's former Dinosaur Protection Group associate, Franklin, who is now a member of the CIA's Dangerous Species branch, informs Claire and Owen that their adoptive daughter, Macy, who we first see in Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, has been kidnapped and transported to Malta. Claire and Owen rush to Malta, where Owen seeks the assistance of a former colleague, Bari Sembin Omarcy, who worked with him in Jurassic World and is now a member of French intelligence, who is also working on a case in Malta. They infiltrate a dinosaur black market, which is followed by a series of near-fatal hits and misses, as well as an incredible action chase scenario featuring Owen on a bike being pursued all around town by militaristic velociraptors. Our protagonists catch a lift in a cargo plane piloted by a sympathetic Kayla Watts, who used to sneak in supplies for biocin and had seen Macy moved from there to the biocin facility. A massive flying Quetzalcoatlus brings down the aircraft in the middle of its flight. However, the good guys land safely and make it to the facility unhurt. Meanwhile, the Jurassic Park characters manage to escape the headquarters with Macy, whom they had rescued anyway, and meet Owen and Claire, and, among the fight of the Titans unleashed in the turmoil, all of the heroes flee to safety. Macy Lockwood was raised to believe that she was a clone of Benjamin Lockwood's daughter. The realization that she had been produced artificially had left a significant psychological scar, and no amount of love or acceptance from her foster parents, Claire and Owen, could heal that trauma. This was aggravated by her isolation deep in the Sierra Nevada region. as well as the fact that she was forbidden from interacting with regular people. Macy was a popular target for bounty hunters because to her peculiarity, despite knowing that her foster parents were keeping her apart for her own safety. Her frustration had grown so great that at one point she throws caution to the winds, goes into a rebellious mood, and cycles beyond the forbidden zone only to be kidnapped by mercenaries. It was later when she met the biosyn scientist, Dr. Henry Wu. She learns that she is not a clone of Dr. Charlotte Lockwood, Benjamin Lockwood's deceased daughter, but actually Charlotte's daughter. Dr. Wu reveals to Macy that Charlotte suffered from a fatal genetic defect, which means that she knew she had a limited lifespan. Talk of real angst. She used her own DNA to replicate and give birth to the genetically identical Macy. But she tweaked little Macy's DNA to rid her of the genetic defect that she herself was born with. So Macy is technically not a clone, as she was gifted superior DNA by her biological mother. And she finally found peace when she discovers that she is human after all. Dr. Henry Wu was the evil villain in the earlier Jurassic films. He was the one who created hybrid dinosaurs, such as Indominus Rex. But he wasn't your average villain. He was merely a great scientist who was obsessed with pushing boundaries and making breakthroughs by modifying DNA to create new animals. In sum, he was so focused on playing God that he failed to consider the consequences of his scientific discoveries. However, in Jurassic World Dominion, Dr. Wu is an older, wiser man who is disturbed when he discovers he is being used to produce monsters that will cause global hunger. He honestly believes that genetic research should be a gift for humankind rather than the contrary. When Macy Lockwood and a baby raptor arrive at his research center, he isn't too upset. In actuality, Beta the raptor is the asexual kid of Blue, a velociraptor bred and taught by Owen in the first Jurassic World. Wu believes that studying Macy and Beta's DNA may provide a solution to the locust problem. Dr. Wu was a colleague of the late Dr. Charlotte, and he valued her intelligence. He calms Macy's wrath by telling her about her biological mother and how his respect for her rose when he learned about asexual reproduction, and how Charlotte had rectified Macy's DNA of any flaws. By examining Macy's genome, he may find out how to contaminate the locust's DNA and produce a plague to wipe out the hordes. Dr. Henry Wu ultimately spared the world from catastrophic hunger. When Biosyn CEO Lewis Dodgson discovers that Sattler and Grant have entered the high-security lab and obtained the proof that may bring Biosyn down, he panics. He attempts to destroy the evidence by lighting fire to the genetically engineered locusts. A fleeing frenzy develops, and a number of flaming locusts escape via an air vent, creating a wildfire that engulfs the entire park, causing panic. And of course, it concludes in the classic divine justice fashion, with our good Dr. Lewis Dodgson being chomped down by dinosaurs as he tries to flee with dinosaur eggs.